Right, so I've basically cut up all the things I think I'm going to need, and I've popped them into these folders that Louise gave. There's the cover. These ones are going to be used on the hinge and the spine. Then the front inside cover, the options are there. And then I've got page 1 and 3, all their goodies together. And I have page 2 and 4, all the little goodies together, and I've already inked everything. And then the inside cover, the back inside cover, the little box, everything's there. And then for the extra pages, I've just paper clipped the things together that I haven't cut apart yet. Some I've started to prep, but I think it's easier to find what you're looking for if it's all still like this. You can see it doesn't really take long to cut out, and then just ink the edges. And if there's anything I need, I can just pop it out of here as we go. I did cut up the extra pages, the bonus pages that she gave. I have got this because I know I want to use these on my tags, and by having these cut up gives me an option to change out some of the base pages that are in there. Right, so I've also just paper clipped it all together so that it stays together and I don't lose it on the table. And I will pop these in with the extra pages because that's where I know what they're for. So there you go. I have everything is cut out and ready to go. Right, so we can get started with embellishing the album. Okay, so in my first folder is my chipboard, which says chipboard pieces but cover, so it's just got my papers in. I'm going to keep that aside and we will get to that a little bit later. Okay, because like I said, I prefer to do the outside at the end, and then these pieces we're going to use on the hinge, so we'll keep that up out the way as well. So we're going to begin with we want to start with the inside page. Where is that? We want to begin with the front inside cover. So these are the two options that Louise gave us, option 1 and option 2. All right, but if you remember, I did cut out in the extra pages, I did cut out these extras that we can use. I'm keeping my extra pages close at hand so that I can use them. So now we've got some extra options because I want to maybe add a photo here and put something over here. So I was thinking to put the little rabbits over here like that, and then popping in a photo here that measures 7 by 5 maybe, and then we can also put this one over here maybe with a photo over here, and then on the front here we could just add one of these. Right, so then it gives you some nice options to add. And if we wanted to, in my first example, I've added a little belly band here, but we don't have to do that again. We can play around. If you are planning on adding a belly band, then I would use, maybe we go with the plain one like that rather. And that leaves the option open for us to add a little something at a later stage. So we want to add that like that, that like that. We have a photo going here and a photo going here. So I would suggest then that we fussy cut the little, there's these little bunnies that we can fussy cut. I'm quickly going to do that. I have fussy cut out the little rabbit. I have also just cut out a label and a ticket. I thought and already inked the edges. I thought that would come in quite handy. And then I do know that I want to use the labels on this sheet. I want to be able to pick and choose the ones I want. So I think I'm going to cut them out and then have them, you know, I won't cut them out all the way, but just at least have it cut out to a point where they can be used quite quickly should I want to. Right. So Louise has designed them to go back to back, but for my first flap I'm going to just do the one. Because it's going to be stuck flat, I don't need to do back to back with that. And then I'm going to also use this Good Friday. So you can cut them out like that. And then I'll just keep this other faithful. I'll probably use it somewhere else. I have a little bowl that I keep everything in off to the side so that I don't lose it. And we'll just put this and this back over there so we can get to it later. Right, so we can just trim off the little edges. And Louise has a very neat little trick to cut them out so that they are exactly the same. She actually puts them together like that. And then she's got a little clip that she puts on that will hold them together while she cuts them. I don't have that clip, so I'm going to rely on my fingers and hopefully it doesn't move too much. I'm just going to hold it like that and cut around. Has moved a little bit, but it's fine. I can, whatever little clipsies there are, I can just ink away and then around and around and like that, so that when they're on, they're actually back to, go back to back quite nicely. And then I would just ink those so that if there is any of the white sticking out, we just cover it up with the ink now. So that, I think you only need to do that if you are wanting to back them. In this case, like I know that I want this one, I'm going to only use the one side because I want it flat, so I'm just going to cut it out quickly. And then just add a little bit of ink to it. Just to get rid of that white. She has already digitally inked around the edges, but when you cut it, there is that little white that's shows through because the ink hasn't quite sucked into the paper. Right, so I think there I've got a photo mat that measures 7.5 by 5.5 because I want my photo to be 7 centimeters by 5 centimeters. I will also ink around the edges of this just a little bit so that it stands out a little bit. I just want to soften the hard white edges. There we go. So my plan is to attach that over there, right? I thought we could put the little label in over there. We can put the little ticket there so that when the page opens, there's a little bit of the ticket sticking out like that. And then I thought we could pop the little label Faithful in over there like that. Right, so that already starts to give the page a little bit of something. Okay, it can go in closer to the edge like that. And here's a place then to add a date or a little bit of journaling over there. And then figured I would pop a photo in over here and have this go over there like that, and then stick my Good Friday together. I'm just going to attach it here at the top so that I don't lose it, and that it's open at the bottom and I can just slide it onto my page. Line that up nicely. And again, just give it a bit of an ink. Check both sides that there's no white sticking out. Perfect. Right, and I figured that this one would look quite nice over here, maybe like that, with that. So that is my plan, but I want this background to match this one. And in the extra papers that Louise has given us, I think that this one over here will be perfect to add to the background. I'm just going to cut that out. And I'll show you now. It'll just give us that little extra bit of pink. So it creates a really awesome background. I'm going to cut it up to a piece together on the background. But you can see, pop this under here, then it will help, how nicely that's going to work out. And I do think that this little one will then need a photo mat, a black photo mat that measures 6 by 8. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put glue on everything, put on some music, put glue on everything and assemble, and I will see you in a bit. To assemble this page, the inside cover page, I took, because the paper is not big enough to cover the entire page, I took that strip and I've cut it up into bits. I've cut a 2.5 centimeter by 9.5 centimeter piece that's going to go over here, and this is 1.5 by 9.5 that's going to go over here, and then these little pieces are just going to fill up the gap over here. I will trim that then to fit. Okay, so we're just going to attach those, and I'll show you what I mean. So even though I don't have full sheets, it's easy enough for me to paper piece, or they call it blocking. Take bits and pieces of leftover cardstock, cut them into pieces that actually fit. So that'll go quite comfortably over there. Then I have this one over here. Just want to make sure that I've got it on straight. Okay. Right, so I'm going to use one of these. Now I want mine to touch there and to touch there. So I'm going to just make a pencil mark. So if I put it's going to be easier than trying to measure and trying to get it straight with measuring. Let's see. That one's going to be just too short. So that's going to fit in there quite comfortably. And then the other side, the same thing. I want it to fit in there, from there to there. Just need to get that spacing, and it just a little mark of the pencil, and we can trim that off. Right, and then just a little bit of ink on the edges of each one, and we can stick that in place. So again, I'm going to put this in flush with the top and the bottom. You could, if you wanted to, leave a little gap, but because I know I have a photo going in there, I'm not going to leave the gap. It's going, my little photo mat's going to cover most of the back. There we go. So that's in there nicely. And then I have already matted my photo. I put it onto a black mat so that it goes in like that. And I'm going to have it so that it lines up with this one over here. Add some glue and stick that down. Kind of centered. Give it a bit of a burnish. And then, oops, I forgot to attach the Good Friday. So what I'll do is, maybe the glue hasn't stuck yet. Could maybe lift it to get it underneath there. No, what I'll do is I'll attach it to the back, just on the one side, and then just cover that with some pattern paper. We'll just leave that to dry a bit before I stick it. Alright. And then my bunnies, I've also inked them. So I'm going to have them, don't want my leaves to stick out, so the leaves kind of touch the bottom of the pattern paper, and they can sit over there, and you can put a little photograph maybe of some Easter eggs from the Easter egg hunt. Maybe you have something with some chocolates, but there we go. So I think that then finishes that off quite nicely, and it's a good start to the album. One of the things I like to do, and I'm only going to do this with this page, the rest I'll add when I'm done, is I like to go around the edges with the black white gel pen. So if this was a very dark paper, I would go around with the black pen. But I like to add the lines. I think that it just defines and finishes off the page just a little bit. I would even go around the label, and you can even then go around the word to make it stand out a little bit more. And to add to this to make it look more like a ticket, because it's hard to cut them out. Squiggly lines there. And it just, by adding those doodle lines, just adds a little something. And then to make my label stand out on this inside pink line, I'm just going to go over that with the black pen so that that part frames whatever sentiment is going to go inside that label. Right, so I would then go around all of the pages like that, but I'm not going to make you sit through that. I will do that off camera. Right, so that's the inside cover. So we still got 2 more pages to do, right? So let's see. We can add this one over here, so we can add a little bit of extra journaling. This gives you a perfect opportunity to do some journaling about when your event happened. So I'm going to put this label in. I want to put it in a way that it doesn't cover up my faithful. I'm going to pop it on there so that I don't forget. There was the option. I did have it so that we could glue it on, and then we can just attach this. I'm not going to add anything extra to this because the tiny little finishing off embellishing normally gets done once your photographs have been added into your album. I'm just making sure that that's nice and straight, all lined up and in place. Right, always important to make sure you get all that glue stuck down. Good burnish. You want to make sure that it doesn't move. Remember, the glue is wet and slippery, so it's always good to hold your piece of paper in place while you burnish. So there we go. And I know that I want to put a photo here. I'll add a photo mat at a later stage, but I'm going to add a photo here that measures 8 by 8. Okay, and then the next one, we can add this so that if maybe later we can add a little belly band to this one here at a later stage. So what I can do is I can add another label. We can cut out another one quickly. So that each page has a little label. There we go. So 2 for 1. Right. It's down nice and tight. I cut them the same size. No. I think I'm going to cut these ones separately because I don't think I've cut the right amount off the bottom. And I might just cut one too small and then cut over the spirit, because I can see that I cut too much off the one side than I should have. But it's not, doesn't take too long, and if there is a bit of white sticking out, nothing a little bit of ink can't hide. Alright, so I'm just going to give that a little bit of ink around the edges just to hide that bit of white. Okay, let's see what it looks like when we attach them together. Oh, I didn't do too bad a job. It's just that little bit of white sticking out there, and we'll just ink it up. So nothing a little bit of ink can't hide for us. Right? So we can just glue these together. So a little bit at the top here. There we go, you can't even see the white anymore. There we go. Right, so I'm going to attach this in place. And I'm going to put my Spirit of Easter so that it lays kind of between these two tabs. Like that. You can have it go over your paper. You do not have to have it go under. Alright, it's entirely up to you. Maybe this one we have go over. Maybe just, and we'll have the photo go under. It just adds a little something extra to your page. There's no rule that says that that tab has to go under your pattern paper. We can always have it go over as well, just to add a little something. Right, so I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to both sides at the bottom here, this side, and a little bit of glue on this side, and then in the middle, pop it on like that. Make sure that it lines up nicely and that it's in line with those labels, that it's not too far in or too far out. It all works cohesively. There we go. Perfect. Right, so we can just burnish that in place. Make sure that it sticks really well, and now my photo can just go over that. So there you go, that is the first page done. So I now have an opportunity to either add a belly band here, or I can just embellish this. Right, so I just want to go through the pages that Louise has done with us, the basics. Right, so the next pouch that we need is your page 1 and 3. That's this one, okay? So I'm going to put that off to the side like that. So we have that, we have that, we have the two fronts for the booklets. She's done it like that and like that. Okay, so we'll start with a little concertina file. So all I'm going to do is attach this one that says carrot patch. It's going to go on like that. And then the rest of the slots or blank spaces I'm going to leave to add photos. So this just goes on the front like this. Again, there's lots of little embellishments you can go and add in afterwards. I always suggest that you get the bulk of the work out the way. I call it the flat work. And then you can go in afterwards and add your little details. And then you can go in and add your little finishing touches. Right, so that's the concertina file done. Then on this first one, Louise has this basket of love running across like that, which I think is really awesome. But before I put that, I need to put something in the background. And I know she used that one, but I didn't want to. I wanted to use it somewhere else because I really like those bunnies. So I chose to use something that is has a little bit less. So more of a plainer background to go over here. And once we pop that on like that, maybe. Yeah, I think that's going to work really well. I like that. Okay. So I'm going to use this one. Like I say, you are welcome. There's quite a few options in here. You are welcome to those options. And if you've run out of ideas on how to embellish it, go and watch Louise's video on her YouTube channel. She works a little bit differently to the way I do. So it's always good to have the options. So I'm only applying glue on this section of this love basket full of love, because I want to be able to slide my carrot patch concertina booklet back inside there. So there we go. Just going to move that magnet out of the way. There we go, that looks good. And then this can then slide in like that. See? Perfect. Right, then there's the space. That's where these will work. They will go on the photo mats that you're going to put inside here. We'll use those to pull them out. And the same with the adorable. They're for the photo mats that go inside there. So we'll just keep those aside for now. Right. So we're not going to do this page just yet. We're going to skip forward to this one. Okay. So we're going to, so this is page 3, but it's the same style as page 1. We'll just get that all stuck down so that it's done. Again, I'm only going to attach my cover to the concertina file. I will add photos to the rest of what's in there, like that. And that's going to go in over here like this. So now I need something to back it. I think I'm going to use this, and I don't mind that the bunny's going to get covered up. Let's see how much of him sticks out when I put it in. Okay, that's just a little bit too much. You know, when you take it out, you're going to see half a bunny, so we won't use that. I think we'll use the exposed. That'll work. So that doesn't look too strange now when I take out the concertina book. And I think maybe what I'll do is swap the two around. So we have this like that. Yes, that looks a bit better. And that works nicely with that pattern paper. And then this will work really well over here. Oh, for sure. There we go. So I'm going to put some glue on this and slide it in. So she's even gone and put in some fake stitching around the backgrounds for those like me who just can't seem to get a sewing machine to work in the right direction. That's my challenge to myself this year, is to learn to sew on paper. I don't want to sew on fabric. Like that. Right, and then this is going to go over here like that. Look how nice that looks. And I can always, if that little word exposed bugs me a lot, because this is covering it, I can always put something else over there to hide that. But I'm quite happy with that kind of hint of the wording coming through at the back there. I prefer that than to see the bum of the bunny. Right, so that will go slide inside there like that. Perfect. Right, and again, like I said, these go in the pockets, so we'll use them at a later stage. We'll just keep them off to the side. So now that is your D done and dusted. We are now going to do pages 2 and 4, so we need all of this. Remember, these are my extra pages that I can use as later if I need them. Right, so let's get all of this out. Okay, so here's where we start to put some stuff on the magnets. Let's see. Right, so we'll start with the pocket that I put on the wrong page maybe. Not my brightest move to date, but one needs to go there and one needs to go here, and I don't think I put any ink on here. So these are your options for this. I think those two match quite nicely. They'll go on the other one. So this one goes there, and then she's done it so that there's a nice frame all the way around both of them. So we can just stick that in place. Look how awesome that's going to look. And then this one fits in that open space perfectly with an awesome black border all the way around. So we can just line it up so you get your blocking effect. You didn't have to measure, you didn't have to cut out twice, you didn't have to get it skew. It is all already done for you. So absolutely perfect. Right, so that one will be for the next one. Okay, so the blessings is going to go on the front here, and the same thing inside will just be photos. I'm just going to pop this in so that you can see what I mean. It's going to go there. All right. Again, perfect, awesome, perfect border all the way around, all done for you. It's just a matter of attaching it in place. Okay, and that is going to be there. So then that's where we now need to do the little magnets. See if they are still listening. So they are gonna, this is gonna get stuck down. So I know that it goes on like that. So this one is gonna go on the left, like that. And this one is going to go on the inside like that. All right, so let's stick the little bunny on the front, because the other side is going to be stuck down and get covered. So again, it fits on this little magnetic strip, magnetic closure perfectly. No measuring, it just fits. I'm going to take this off because I want to add the backing. Okay. Oops, that is my Jack Russell, sorry. All right, and I'm just going to work that in. I want to make sure that I get it around that magnet really well. Okay, like that. Have a little bit of tape sticking out. Just going to work it off and work it underneath that, underneath the mat. There we go. So all gone. I will I've got like an eraser that I'll use just now and just take off any excess glue that's sticking out. I'll go in and do the cleanup in a bit. Right, so this one now I'm just going to put on some glue because it's going to go at the back. So it doesn't really need a cover. We just want to make sure that it attaches really well. So this is going to go, you need to decide where you want your little magnet to be. So I thought maybe mine will look good over there. You can have it in the middle even, or towards the top. Maybe this one will do in the middle, like that. Push that in and burnish. So it's at the back here, and this was supposed to be covered with the with that side pocket. You could always add an extra one if you want to, or you could just leave it like this. I'm just going to leave it like this and go with the flow and see it as artistic inspiration, a creative moment to do something slightly different. Right, so we can then decide now, what do we want next to this one? I think this will look, we can put this little bunny here. Okay, so because I'm not 100% sure yet, I'm just going to pop that in with a paper clip, and I can always come back and change it. But I kind of like that. And remember, I still have all of this that I can use to block as well. I don't have to use the full sheets. That's why I'm thinking about that. Right, so now my magnetic strip should work. I do know that I want to pop this little lamb in here. I think he's too cute. Right, and then when this closes, see, not too much of the ugly sticks out. So there's not like a nose or an eye or something, or a bunny butt sticking out there. I always take those kind of things into consideration when I'm creating, is what sticks out of the pages once you close up. It's not a rule, but for me, I prefer that everything flows and there be nothing funny sticking out. That's why I'm always careful about where I place my photos as well. I'll never place a photo here, because you never know if it's an arm or a leg or a foot, an eyeball, a mouth or a tooth sticking out, and it's just gonna, I think it distracts from the album. So there we go. So far everything is flowing quite nicely, so that then closes. So now if I put my photos in here, I don't have to worry about an arm and a leg or an eye sticking out, and that closes. So when this closes, it still looks nice and neat. When this closes, it all still flows, nothing strange sticking out. It works. The whole thing flows comfortably. Okay, happy with that. That's done. That's done. Right, we're still thinking about this one, although I think I will probably come back and do that. I'll most likely stick that. Right, so we've done this. Now we need to attach this one. So this, we're going to have this one go here and this one over here. You can have it go the other way around if you want. I think it looks better with the spirit of Easter facing in. Right, so again, I'm just going to put the white sheet in so you can see what I'm doing. So that goes over there like that. Perfect little border all the way around. Nice and quick and easy to create. Right, and then you can pick and choose which is the up and which is the down with this. I think I'll have the blue going down. And again, it goes inside and we have perfect black border all the way around. All the measuring done for you. And the best part about printing the digitals and having them on file is if I make a mistake, I can always just print more. It's there, I can just go and print again, or if I need more, I can just go and print a few extra pages. I don't have to stick with just what's been printed. I have the option to print more. Right, so then next up, I'll take this magnetic piece off. This little piece has got to go in here. And what Louise did is she cut out here. So I would suggest that you measure and you start about 1/2 centimeter from each side and end there. So I would also use my ruler. So start from that 1/2 centimeter and cut to the center. Turn and do the same. Start from the that 1/2 centimeter and work your way in to there. Then you need to put your craft knife in, and you are going to keep the craft knife in one place and then just turn your paper as you cut around. You want to try not to lift the craft knife because that's when you get little jagged edges. Just want to keep it in place and work slowly, take your time. Once you've got that craft knife down, try not to lift so that you can get a nice smooth cut. You can see there where I lifted. I didn't have it in place properly. I have that a little gash, and we can just go in and just hide it with a little bit of ink. Right. So this one. Now remember, you want to slide something in. Okay, so if you go and put glue on everything, you're not going to be able to slide something in, and that cutting would have been for nothing. So my suggestion is a little bit of glue just around the edges like that of where you're going to slide something in, and then this piece that needs to be flat, we can attach that. So the top part gets the glue, the bottom part does not. But you want to create like a pocket effect. So that's how I would do that. Let me slide this in so you can see. So this goes on the little mini booklet. Okay. I'm going to work this, burnish this in place. Again, nice and perfectly done. Right, and you will then be able to slide something in here. We can cut something out and pop it in there. If I do this, there we go. Okay, we'll add something a little bit later. Just leave that to dry for a bit. And we're going to do the magnets again. There we go. So I think I'm going to have this one on the outside and this one on the inside. Right, so let's get this stuck. And this time I will lift the tape. I didn't even think about that when I was busy with it. There we go. And then you just want to make sure that that tape is smooth. It doesn't create any wrinkles in your paper. And there we go. So we can just burnish that in place. And if these little pieces are not what you want for your magnetic strip, you can always go refer back to the little extra pages that you've got, and you can use something from there. You just need to measure this little piece that I'm burnishing on to make sure that it's same size, and you can pop it in. There we go. Let's do the front. Gets it in the middle there perfectly. And again, we just want to burnish over that little magnet. Then this piece is going to get attached, so we can just put glue everywhere here over the magnet. Just want to make sure that it attaches really well. Right, so when we pop this one in now, we have to decide where you want this to be. I think this one we need to close kind of at the top, because you don't want to hide that, and you don't want it in the middle because you want to slip something in underneath there. So we're going to put it more to the top like that. Perfect. And then just burnish that in place. Got it on straight. Yep. There we go. All right. So now I'm thinking, do I want to put this inside here, or do I want to put it on the back page? I think I'm going to take some of this paper and piece it together to go over here. I'll make my own little background with my leftovers, and I'll do that just now, but I would like to pop this one on over here like that. I think that's going to look really awesome. And again, I can always go and print some more paper if I need it. If I don't want to paper piece, if I just want to put big pieces of paper and just repeat some of the papers that are in there that we've already used, no reason why we can't. Give it a good burnish, make sure you've got, and it's going to attach really, really well. There we go. Looks like it. Just needs a bit of encouragement. And there we go, there's that one done. So I've just got to go back and add something there. Then here, this will be some photos, and photos. Maybe we can embellish something, we'll see. Okay, and then we have, so we've done that. The last thing we've got to do now is the back inside cover. Right, to assemble, well, to add the patterns to the box, we're going to add one here and one here. It's going to go like that. Right, you can, if you want to, do something different. I think I'm just going to stick with the original plan because all the thinking has been done for me. So I'm just going to slide that in there. Attach this, gather together over here like that. It fits in perfectly. What more could you ask for? And then Day of Hope becomes is the bottom flap. Like that. Fits perfectly. Just want to burnish it. Make sure we get a good stick. Right, then the left and the right. So the little housey goes on the left. Again, that fits in perfectly, so you have an awesome background. Spacing around your mat is perfect. Right, and then this one fits quite comfortably on the right. Like that. Right, so we have that. There is the option then to use this as a closure, but I don't think so. I'll keep that for something else. I might just take a little tag and put that down there like I have in my white one. And then I was thinking that instead of putting this, because it's so pretty, down the bottom here, I will most likely just cut out another piece of pattern or just attach a photo, because we're going to have photos in there and there. But I'll find something else to go in the bottom of the box, and I would very much like to then use this one over here. I think it's going to look really awesome like that. Look how nice that's going to look, and it just helps with everything, the flow. All right, let's just stick that down. Right, so let's chat about the flow. So if I now have to put my little flaps inside my box and close it up, and we close the album up and open it up and it goes like that, can you see that we've got an ER and the PE sticking out there? Now that would bug me. If it doesn't bug you, that's fine. So that dictates to me then that these will have to be like that. And I am going to attach a little something to my goodie here to cover that. Right, Obviously when I attached the box now I didn't take that into consideration, but I'm going to add a nice big tab to this page so that it can hide that, because that just drives me around the bend. So you can see how nicely, even though we have all this extra bulky at the back, the album is laying reasonably flat because of the way we have done the spine. So for this one, I didn't add the extended spine, so you can see that this one just lifts, has a bit more, doesn't lay as flat. So if I open it up, it all stands up. It's not the end of the world, but with this one, everything lays just a little bit flatter because I added in that extension on the spine. All right, so that is the basics done. All right, you now need to go through and decide where you want to add your photographs, and then once you've decided that, you can then start to add the little details. So I just want to go back to this one. I think this one is going to be stuck there. I kind of like it. I should have just stuck it to begin with. All right. So I want to work with you on your in-between pages.